will tell them is no matter how bad you can sing, you're going to need to sing if you want to be a professional dancer, because 9 times out of 10, you know, they're going to want you to do singing, because getting employment in a company is harder and harder. So we're going to encourage you and send you in the right direction to do those things. And we have that here. So all the same building. So it's pretty cool. And I'm very, very proud of it. We've been here 10 years. This is our 10th year. And we started out in the one studio, and then we moved to 3 studios. And just 2 years ago, we moved over here to this. Unfortunately, it's right when COVID was happening and really everybody was still not going to school and staying home. But that was right when it opened up. So we had our first year was, I don't call that a real year.
Right.
It's kind of how we opened. And then so this year actually was our first real year full out in this building, you know. So anyway, okay, Mimi's back. Did you get it?
I'm back.
Okay,
Yes.
we're back. We're having a little
We're recording.
we're recording. So,
Yay.
so I'm going to turn it over to Mimi, and I'll just kind of say this and pop in if there's any questions that I think I can answer. But we'll just try to go through a little spiel of what we're going to talk about, and then like if you have a question, save it, and then we'll kind of try to answer our questions toward the end. We might be able to answer a question as we progress.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so here's Mimi. She's amazing. She's been, Mimi and I have known each other for many years.
Yes, yes.
And she's an amazing dancer, choreographer, teacher, and I'm just really happy with everything that she does.
I'm so thankful for you.
Uh,
All right, guys, so thank you for coming. Welcome, new people, welcome, old people. I'm very excited that you're here. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of go over some things. So like Sue said, please hold all your questions to the end. If you have a question, maybe write it down or put it in your phone. And if you have a personal question that just applies to you and your dancer, then I'm available after the meeting if you want to ask me something that doesn't apply to the group and it's just more of a personal question, so that we're not here with everyone all night. And this might seem like a lot of information, but I'm a communicator. As you guys have found out, I love to make everything really clear, and I want to have a really successful season and just make sure that you guys understand everything. And so make sure you know that you can always email me, email Sue, email Brianna. We're a team here. We really pride ourselves on communication. So if there's any questions you ever have, or if you ever need anything, then reach out to us, okay? So you're gonna have after auditions, you'll have a contract to sign that also has all of this information in it. So don't feel like, whoa, what was that part again? Because you're gonna get it again. But you have a mini version of that right now on this handout that you're looking at. So auditions are Tuesday, May 31st, 5:30 to 6:30, ages 6 to 12, 6:30 to 7:30, ages, or sorry, 6 to 8, 6:30 to 7:30, ages 9 to 12, and 7:30 to 9 is teen seniors. And if you haven't yet, please register for auditions online using, there's a link on those sheets. It's like bit.ly. Let's see, where is it at? Right here, and this be a part of our team at the bottom of the red box. So this is new this year. Normally when you come to auditions, you'll fill out a paper with like your wish list. But this year we're doing it all online. So it'll take you about 10 to 15 minutes. You'll fill out your things about your dancer, like experience, and then kind of a wish list of this is how many routines I would ideally like to be cast in, and I'd like to be considered for a solo or not, just kind of things like that. So make sure you do register online for auditions before auditions. And I would like everyone to wear black dance wear for auditions, and any black dance wear, and then just your half soles, turners, or jazz shoes are fine. And in auditions, we will do some across the floor technique, and then they'll learn a little combination, and then they'll do some improv so I can kind of see how they move. And I'll be looking for not only technique, but also behavior. So we want to make sure, even if you are a veteran returning member, that you show me that this is a serious thing to you and taking the audition seriously. And I'll be looking at how fast they pick up the combination, their potential, and then also how fast they take corrections. So then rolling right into June, we require summer intensives. These are on this paper. You can find them right at the top here under prerequisites. So the first one in June is the 6th through the 30th. And it has the times listed on your sheet, depending on what age your dancer is. And then there is a show at the end of the June intensive on the main stage at the Rose. It's really fun. It's like a summer themed, I think it's fun in the sun,
Yeah.
right? Fun in the sun theme. And then July intensive is July 11th through the 30th. And then in August, we'll have Stay in Shape classes a couple times a week, but August is our choreography month. So that is when you will learn all of your choreography for the entire season. So there's not any like learning last minute choreography, nothing like that. You will know all of your group dances front to back by September 1st. That is the deadline for the choreographers to be done. We will know everything so that we can just rehearse and clean. Obviously there'll be changes, but August is a really important month. I am working on securing a guest choreographer right now. I'm not gonna tell you who it is yet because it's a fun surprise, but those dates are TBD. That's why I don't have the August choreography schedule yet. So we're waiting to kind of secure that schedule with that individual. So I will let you know as soon as I have that information. Obviously, I know that you guys have your family vacations and whatnot in the summer. And so if you're going on a family vacation or have a conflict, just communicate it and let me know, and it can be worked around. The most important thing, I mean, it's mandatory and I'd love for you to be there the whole time, but August is the most important month to really try not to miss, because we don't want to miss any of those choreography sessions. So then fall classes start the Tuesday after Labor Day. And I want to talk about the required genres for each level and kind of how many days a week they dance. So everyone is required ballet, contemporary, leaps and turns, jazz, tap, stretch, which stretch was a huge hit. It was a new class last year, and I noticed a huge, like the minis just got so flexible. I mean, like crazy. It was so helpful. So loved that. And then we do have optional but highly recommended extra classes on Saturdays, like hip hop, tumbling, improv. Kids love the improv class. I want to explain that Saturdays are optional to sign up for, but once you sign up for them, you are required to go to them. So it's not like a drop-in class. It's not like, oh, it's optional to attend. It's optional to sign up for, but then if you're in the class, then you got to go to the class, because they do a piece in the spring concert. The minis and petites, which we are going to split minis and petites this year. So it's going to be a little bit different because our team is growing so much. So the minis are going to be the younger group and the petites are the little bit older group. And they will do small groups in each level, and then they'll do a mini petite large group, which would be super cute, if that makes sense. So they'll have smaller class sizes, so we'll be able to break things down to the appropriate level and such. So I'm really excited about that. But they do 3 days a week. One of their days is a really quick, just ballet night. Juniors are 3 days a week, 2, 4. Teens are usually 4 days a week. But I mean, we have some teens who come 6 days a week. It just depends how much you want to live here with us.
And we have tumbling on Saturdays too. So I know
Yeah,
a lot
did
of
I
the
not
kids-
say tumbling?
No, but just, I know that's really popular with, the competition kids. So they want to come in on Saturdays and take their tumbling.
Yes,
and
we
then a
love
hip-hop class or whatever.
tumbling. I would love to require tumbling, but not this year, right?
Yeah. But most of them all come in.
The most of them all, yeah, because tumbling is such a part of competition dance now. Let's see. Oh, the high school program I wanted to talk about. So this is something really unique to our studio. I don't really know of any other studio who does this, but we created it for a high school individual who, I did it for a couple of middle schoolers last year, so it just would depend on the kid. who this person would be really busy. Maybe they want to do everything. They want to do show choir. They want to do sports. They want to do this. They want to do that. They can't do full-time dance, but they really want that competition dance experience, but they're already have advanced training. Then we offer the high school program, which is 2 days a week, only 2. And then all they can do is 1 solo by audition and 1 group dance. So 1 group dance, 1 solo, that's it, 2 days a week. Dina did that this year, our student who was accepted in a TISH, so excited for her. So that she could do, NYU, so that she could do all the plays at the Rose and all of her college auditions and stuff. So that is an option that's a little bit less intensive, but you're still training quite a bit. So come talk to me if you want more information about that. I have got a lot of questions from new parents I've been on the phone with. Well, could we add a duo? No. Can we please do 2 groups in the high? No, sorry, 1 group dance, 1 solo, that's it for the high school, the part-time program. Otherwise, obviously I'd love everyone to do full-time and just be here with me all the time. So now I want to talk about performances and competitions. I'm trying to move right along, guys. Hopefully I'm not going too quick. I got a lot to tell you. So we attend competitions and conventions throughout the season, and being a company member obligates you to these competitions and conventions. If you are a new competition parent, just to let you know, they're held on weekends and they're a full day and possibly full weekend commitment. Unfortunately, you don't know the schedule until about 5 to 7 days before the event. So you just kind of have to keep that weekend open. You have to be completely available. The competition schedule for the season will be communicated in late August. This is mostly because I'm waiting for the competitions to put out their 2023 tour dates. Most competitions don't put out their dates until after their nationals. So we kind of got to wait and see. And then I will let you guys know as soon as I know. So again, probably late August. All the dancers are required to participate in competitions and conventions. Dancers are expected to arrive with hair and makeup completed at their call time, which is usually 2 hours before they're scheduled to dance. Parents are expected to respect this rule and have the dancers ready by the required time. And let's see what else. This is a good one. It's important to understand that the competition aspect of being a member of Rose Dance Project should be considered a performance opportunity. Competition results are subjective opinions. Dance is a performing art, right? So it's not like basketball where it's how many, I don't know sports, how many baskets, or how many goals, or, swimming, like who touched the end of the pool first. Like it is art and it is subjective. And at the end of the day, it's 3 adult dancers' opinions. So we do not get all riled up here about competition results. Is it fun to win? Yes, but we don't, throw tantrums if we don't, or things like that. So it's important to keep the competition experience really positive, and most importantly, to be proud of our students' growth and development. We don't foster competition within our team, and we ask that all we ask is that our students work to their full capacity. And I understand that every child is a gift to our team, and every child is uniquely different and special. So let's see, moving right along. We'll have a kickoff performance showcase. I'm hoping to do that more late January this year. I was going to ask you about that. But we have to see when the Rose stage is available. And that's kind of just a showcase, getting us ready for the year. And then we'll do 5 competitions and 2 conventions. The minis will do 4 mini petites, 4 competitions, and 1 convention. Some of those conventions might be competition convention in 1 weekend. It just kind of depends, if that makes sense. So we might do, like, for example, we went to 24/7 this year. It was a competition convention all in 1 weekend. But sometimes there's separate convention weekends and then a separate competition weekend. So it just depends on what we go to, if that makes sense. Usually we do one competition or convention that's out of town, like in Des Moines, Kansas City, somewhere close. And that's the one that the minis are not required to go to. I realize it's a lot for a 6-year-old to travel for competition dance. This year, all of the minis came to me and were like, we want to go. So we ended up bringing the minis this year, but that one's not required for minis. And then I always get this question, can we do extra competitions for like solos? Yes, you can do all the competitions that you want to, and we will register you for the extra competitions. So you don't have to register independently, but you are responsible for being there with your dancer, getting them ready to go, getting them backstage. You can request a Rose staff member to be there at, I think, what is the rate? $20 an hour?
I think we said it that, I mean, to staff, if you wanted a staff member there and you wanted to go to an extra competition, you'd have to pay for that staff member to go. You know what I mean? Because.
But you can totally do it on,
but
you can totally do it on your own. Kim did it,
totally
she's
do
a
it
pro,
on
talks to Kim.
and you would still be going as our representative, like you would be going
Yes.
under us, not as, because we'll take care of all that, because most competitions won't let you register yourself anyway.
These days, yeah. And I would tell you exactly everything you need to know. So it's really not hard. Nationals, everybody's asking me if we're doing nationals. That will depend on if we have enough interest. So you'll see on the online submission form to fill out online before auditions. I don't know what I just said, but I think it made sense.
We might go to nationals.
Check the box if you're interested for nationals. I need to know if you're interested. I'd like to go somewhere for nationals next year. I need to know if everybody else would.
But keep in mind, if I might interrupt for that.
Yeah.
With nationals, like we're all obviously huge advocates to go to nationals. It's super cool, but we will, when you're going to nationals, we won't stop. We'll still go to class. You know what I mean? We'll still have the intensive in the summer because nationals is always in the summer. So it's just adding another thing, which, just sometimes parents, if that didn't wrap around their heads until the summer came, it's like, oh, we have to go to class and go to rehearsal and go to nationals. So, which we're all for, but we want to make sure that you would be there,
Yeah, and we could look at the timing and stuff like that.
We have plenty of time to figure it out. But.
All right, so I'm just gonna go over some questions I've gotten from new parents who have called me in the last few weeks. Are we doing a production? Are we doing hip hop pieces? The answer is if there's enough interest, and it depends on how many dances each kid can do. So if we did a production, that would be a studio or a company-wide piece. So it would be all the way from minis to the teen seniors. Super fun, really big dance. But it has to be required. Every dancer would have to do it. So if you have, on your audition form that you can only do, let's say 2 dances, and then you are required to do production, then, you only have 1. So there goes other small groups, other large groups. So it just kind of depends on everyone's availability for how many pieces they can do and what works for everyone. And same thing with hip hop. I would love to do a hip hop. I think we would crush a hip hop. So those questions, again, are on your online audition form. So please fill it out. Group dances always come before solos, duos, and trios. So make sure you keep it in mind that this is a team activity first. I've been telling the kids and parents this for months now, but solos are going to be auditioned for this season. We're just getting so big, and this is something that all larger studios do. So I'm basing it off of the audition, but also if it's a returning member, their behavior in class, their attendance, their attitude, dedication to the team. And also no one will be doing more than 2 solos this season. It got a little out of control last year. I think really the less solos, the better, because then you can really put all of your energy into that solo and making it its best. And if anyone is doing 2, it'll be more like a graduating senior, older dancers situation. Let me know if you have questions about that. The dress code and attire and hair is all on here. Let me know if you have any questions about that. But for ballet, we do different color charts for the different levels. So you can read all about that. It's nothing groundbreaking. The only thing I want to say is make sure that you have the appropriate attire, hair, and shoes when you walk into class. That has been an issue for some people this year. I know you're coming straight from school, bring hair ties, teach the girls how to do it. I'm a hairstylist, bring me hair ties. I will whip up a ballet bun so fast if you need me to. But also it's a great learning opportunity for kids to be able to be independent and figure out how to do their own hair. So figure out if you need those big hair ties that will stretch big, how many bobby pins you need, hair nets, whatever it is. It's very important. Let's see, we're gonna get into attendance. So we are really tightening up the attendance policy this year. I should say we're enforcing it. We've had the attendance policy. We are enforcing it more this year. So the front desk is going to be keeping track every time you come in of if you're on time and if you are present or not. So make sure when you walk in, Zoe knows to say, hey, Yana, what's up? So she can mark her as present. Attendance is mandatory for all technique classes, competitions, and performances. When it comes to school and family activities, communicate conflicts with me. I understand being a well-rounded individual is important and I support that, but this is an intensive program. So if you accept placement into this program, you have to agree that this is priority in your schedule. This takes up a lot of time, and if this is for you, it's gotta be priority. So this is the attendance policy. Each team member will be allowed 3 excused absences for the first half of the year. So that's September through December, kind of the first semester. And then 3 excused absences for the second half, January through mid-May. So these excused absences cannot be used the week before a competition or convention, because that's when we're doing all of our serious emergency rehearsing and whatnot, or during guest choreography. Obviously, extended illness, injury, other extenuating circumstances, I'm not crazy. Those would be handled on a case-by-case basis, but it is going to be 3 for the first half, 3 for the second half. And if this is abused, your dancer will be removed from the team. I'm also going to allow, I'm really excited about this, each dancer 2 dance education passes. So those will be 2 more excused absences for the first half and then 2 for the second half. And those could be used to go to an extra competition or an extra convention, master classes, some sort of dance intensive. These passes would have to be approved by me, and of course they cannot be used the week before a competition, convention, or a performance. If you miss a class, we would like for you to make up the class by attending another class that is similar genre or level. So if you miss Monday ballet, we want you to make it up on Saturday. And then you're good. We have some kids who are in every class under the sun, so then they have to level down. So like if Zoe took every single ballet, I'm just looking at you, girl, I don't if she took every ballet class under the sun, which she will, right? Then she could take a junior ballet and just work on fundamentals, or come and assist me with the minis, and that would count as a makeup. And then if you are injured or have a mild illness, like maybe a little headache or something, then we like you to stay and watch and take notes if you can. Moving on, you must be punctual and prepared for class. I have changed the schedule this year as promised and pushed back classes for those who get out of school later. So you will be able to get here on time. Again, got to be on time for class, dress code, hair, shoes. Punctuality is just as important as attendance. Just like a job, you know, you got to be on time. And 2 occurrences of tardiness would count as an unexcused absence. So again, front desk is going to be on top of all of that. Girls Dance Project is a team, so just like football teams require all their players to attend practices so they can play in the games, we require everyone to attend classes and rehearsals. Because absences don't only affect the individual dancer, but the team as a whole. Because we're always learning and growing. And so if you're continually missing classes and other people are there all the time, they're gonna surpass you because they're gone. So that's really important to me. I'm not inventing the wheel here. This is a very common attendance policy in this area. I've actually done my research on studios around us, and pretty much every elite studio has this attendance policy or more strict. Actually, I know of some that only do 2 and 2 instead of the 3 and 3. There are a couple studios who are more like recreational with a little sprinkle of competition that are going to be more lenient on attendance. But just to let you know, this is nothing outside of the box. Now I really quick want to go over our behavior policies. All RDP members are held to the highest standards of conduct. Communicating negatively about anyone in or outside the studio will not be tolerated. Company members are expected to show courtesy and respect to all their instructors and students in the studio and at competitions. There will be absolutely no arguing, back-talking, or disrespecting the instructor when given a correction or when a decision is made. RDP members are to display positive and professional behavior and language. Cursing is not allowed in the building. Rose Dance Project members are to respect the director, instructors, and fellow team members. Students and parents are to respect all casting and staging decisions made by the director and instructors. The Rose has a zero tolerance policy concerning bullying. This is something I've worked really hard on to put together for you. Bullying can be physical, verbal, or emotional. Examples of bullying to me would be name calling, violence, theft, rumors, exclusions, threats, intimidations, or put downs. Students should be treated with courtesy and equality, regardless of gender, race, religion, orientation, size, disability, intelligence, dance ability, or popularity. So policies this year regarding bullying or any poor behavior. The first report of bullying or poor behavior issue is going to be a student, parent, and teacher meeting. The second report would be a meeting and then a consequence with some sort of performance or class consequence. And the third report would be a meeting where the student is asked to leave the team. Any student who exhibits repeated negative or disrespectful behavior will be asked to leave the team. Rose students are always respectful, supportive, encouraging, and have a positive attitude. Really quick, I'm going to go over parent roles. The Rose Studios is a drama-free zone. Parents are expected to be supportive, respectful, courteous to all team members and their families at all times. This studio will not tolerate rudeness, jealousy, resentment, or disrespect to other team members, their family, a teacher, or the director. Because this facility is full of amazing families and kids, and we just don't need that around here.
We just, if I can just add to that too, one of the things that's really important to us here that we do that is a little bit different, a little bit different from other studios, is we have a professional side. Like I am on the professional side as a resident choreographer and also as an actor. And so, and Mimi and I have both, we still are performers. Every now and then we jump up there and I try to do it, but but we're professionals. So we expect the kids, we raise them up that way. You know what I mean? So like, for example, in a professional setting, if I were to go and I were placed on the stage, my mom calling up the director later in a professional setting, say, I can't believe that my daughter isn't on the front row. That would be completely wrong in a professional setting. You know what I'm saying? So we really we just raise up you guys, these kids, the same way. Because if you were to pick up and move to a different state or go to a different studio, we want these kids to be the most professional kids. And we want them to know how it's supposed to be. We're not, and again, like Mimi said, we're not inventing the rule. We're following a worldwide culture that we were raised up in the standard. So all these things that are things that we expect of our students and parents, because we want you to understand what it is, that the same standards that we're held to, you know what I mean? So, and it's super cool, that once you understand it, it makes it so much easier to function. You know what I mean? Because we all know, I walk in the room, in fact, even with us as directors, so to speak, if Mimi's the director, but I'm the director of the whole thing, if Mimi's in charge of that room, I will follow her, because that's the standard in theater, in performing, right? Whoever's the directing in that room is the director. And we really do follow that as adults too. So that's super important. And I know when you're coming out of a different studio, it's a little bit different. Maybe the parents are deciding what the kids are gonna do, but we ask that you trust us as professionals to do that. And it's super important to us and your kids. So they'll be able to go anywhere and function, and they're gonna be like Dina, who got in NYU, and all our other students who have gotten into really great programs in college and beyond. So
Yes.
just wanted to throw that in there.
Yes, I love it. So here's my parent roles that I have thought of for you guys. I to lift up and support all of our students, support the team, teachers, choreographers, studio manager, front desk staff, and allow teachers to manage their dancers and choreography as they feel best benefits the team. Be your student's biggest cheerleader. Because you are a role model for your child as well as other dancers, your personal conduct at the studio, performances, competitions, and other studio events must be positive and professional and represent the highest standard of teamwork and sportsmanship. Remind your child that there's always going to be someone better than them, and there's always going to be someone worse than them. And that's just life, and that's professional world too.
Yeah.
Remind your child that success is not measured by the trophy they brought home, by the row they stand in on the stage, or how many pirouettes they can do. Instead, it is measured by the effort they put forth, their progress, and giving it their all. Remind your child to be happy for others. Give a hand to those who may be behind or struggling. Stand firmly behind the teaching staff. Work with the teaching staff, showing your child that you are behind their teachers and the director. I have observed in all my years of dancing and teaching that the children who are the most successful are those whose parents have supported the teachers and choreographers 100%. These are the ones who do not badmouth or question a teacher or choreographer, especially in front of their children, because we all have the same goal of wanting our students to succeed at the end of the day. On to more fun things, wrapping it up here. I love doing master classes. I have a lot of teacher friends in the Omaha area. I have a lot of connections. I have former students who are working professionals. So I like to bring in people to do master classes for Rose Dance Project. We usually do them in here. So I know for sure this year we'll have Lucy Kupka, who's a Rose alumni. She's a Scarlet UNL dance team. We'll bring back Aaron Durrell, of course. We love him. My former student, Maddie Chiswick, who she's really good. She just opened for Pitbull, and she's been in some music videos over the last year. And I also want to bring in my old student, Christina Romejo, who's a Clippers girl when she's home for break. So I've got some exciting master classes I'm thinking of for you guys.
And we're working on the
Yes.
choreographer too, to do.
Yes.
Like if whoever it is, we'll have that person do master classes. as
Yes,
well.
so the guest choreographer will do classes with each level. Team bonding, usually I like to do one team bonding per season. And by season, I mean like spring, summer, fall, winter, not like dance season. And so we will usually do a pool party to kick off the season. So be on the lookout for that. We like to do the big sibling, little sibling thing where you get paired with someone older and someone younger. So the siblings will be announced, will be revealed at our first team bonding. Fundraising, I do want to talk to any parents who are interested in helping organize fundraising. Please reach out to me. I would love to hear your ideas regarding fundraising. It's really important for me to make dance as affordable as possible, which is a big reason of why I love working at the Rose, one of the many reasons. I grew up on scholarships, cleaning bathrooms, cleaning mirrors, cleaning Marley after class. I, think that competition has become such, you know, kind of a, I don't want to say, but like wealthy person's sport. And I hate that. And I think that it's really awesome as a Rose, as a nonprofit, how we're able to give so many people the opportunity, you know, like me when I was a kid, to do competition dance who wouldn't be able to. So that's something that I'm really passionate about. Yeah, make sure you read over on this left-hand column all these reasons to audition. They're really awesome. And I had cute little emojis after each one. I don't know why the emojis didn't print, but
Take that back.
yeah, so I mean, the main thing is you're gonna receive fantastic training, learn lifelong skills, and make friendships that are gonna last a whole lifetime. So now I want to turn it over to Sue to talk a little bit about the finance, just a little bit, and about brigade, and then we'll be all done.
Right. So, one of the things that, I didn't really mention before is that if you are in, the Rose Dance Project or another one of our groups, which is called the Rose Brigade, which is our competition musical theater, we actually have that here as well, that have won national champions for that as well. You're considered what we call an intensive student. So being an intensive student, it basically states that you, the student, not the parent, the student is saying, I want to be an intensive student. I want to be better. I want to come and I want to do things. So therefore, we're going to provide them for you. And so that's kind of how we define it, which kind of goes with what Mimi's saying. So you're going to want to be on time and you want to have your right color leotard and your hair back and all that fun stuff. But also what we do as an intensive student is we try to offer like intensive programming that is going to help you become a better performer. So one of the things that I haven't told you yet is we do provide in August, we'll allow all the intensive students to get their headshots. That comes with your tuition. You don't pay extra for it. And so you get actor performer headshots, and then and you get them as part of it. And then the artistic director, Matt Gutchick, and myself, we're going to offer like an audition workshop to help assist you know what to do, because a lot of people get their headshots and like, I don't know what to do. It says full picture. I don't know. You know what I mean? So like say if you want to start submitting yourself for auditions that, you know, bigger and better things, you know, we can start talking you through that. That doesn't mean you have to go do it. It just means that you have a better understanding of what that means. Or if like you want to come and audition for me and Matt for the main stage, and what you're going to do, like you're going to show up with that headshot in your resume. You're going to be our intensive students always tend to be the best auditioners. Like they know what to do. Yeah. So we're going to take you through that, and that's going to be part of something that we're going to offer for you. And that would be along with the Rose Brigade students as well. And then I'll kind of lead into that. So the Rose Brigade is also available to you guys, as you can audition for that. Because it's got dancing in it, it's musical theater, so there's singing, dancing, and acting involved. So what we try to do is we want to get the dancers involved in them, because I think I've learned that when the dancers get doing more like theatrical stuff, they just become so much better in their presentation. It's just amazing that they sell it with their faces and they really understand the acting aspect of performing, but also because we do a lot of dancing in it. The senior brigade is doing UCs. So there's a lot of leaps and turns and tricks that's going to be happening on stage with that. And we want lots of dancers to audition for that. And then that would be 8th grade through 12th grade for next year. And the junior brigade is doing musical, that's 4th grade through 7th grade. And then we have a little mini brigade that's 1st grade through 3rd grade that's doing jungle one. If you wanted to audition for that, you would just need to know that if you wanted to apply for financial aid and stuff, we can still work that out, you know, in your class tuition and all that stuff. However, if you would be cast in the senior brigade, we go to the International Junior Theater Festival in Atlanta in January during Martin Luther King weekend. It's always that same weekend. And we go down to that. There's like students from all over the world. It's like huge. And we compete and take classes and do all sorts of things. In fact, we just had 2 performers get chosen to go to New York and film choreography videos, Carter and Grant. for big international things. So it's a big deal. And if that's something that you wanted to do, just know that you would have to the financing on your part would be the administrative. So, and that's something that fundraise for or whatever, but the roads would not pay for that. But they would definitely pay, finance if you're applying for financial aid, your classes and whatnot. If you were to be casting the junior brigade, they go to Sacramento, California in February. The mini brigade doesn't go anywhere. They stay here. They stay here. But anyway, I wanted to invite you to do that if you wanted to be involved in a more intensive program. And what we usually do for, especially senior brigade, is if you're in the Roseanne's project and both, we kind of work it out so you can not have to go to all the brigade rehearsals, but join us for certain rehearsals and stuff. So because we do try to internally make things work.
Yeah.
We get really busy.
It is a bigger time commitment though too. So think about, if you're thinking about doing both, just
Yeah.
know that it is another time commitment as well.
Right. So, and if you wanted to ask me about that after this meeting, I'm happy to. But if you look at I'm gonna just breeze over the tuition because I'm gonna say this. Everybody's tuition here tends to be different for a myriad of different reasons. So I'm looking at this tuition sheet right here. I think that you might have in your hands. This is just a general snapshot of what your tuition would be, okay? Because you can apply for a financial aid. You need to apply for it, and then we will, our financial department will take that and turn it around and work out your monthly tuition to what it's gonna be, okay? Which is, where that sits for you, okay? So this is really what it costs. This is what it costs us. So like, for example, and we also have everybody pay everything, June,
Yeah, June.
yeah, starting in June, and then it goes until, I can't even remember.
10 months.
10 months, so it goes for 10 months. So there's 2 months out of the year that you're not paying for. But so it seems like a little more if we would, or it'd be less if we broke it into 12 months. But what ends up happening is you end up paying for a competition that we already went to, and we just can't do that. So for example, if you were paying 100% of your tuition, it would cost you approximately $600 a month for 10 months, June through March, right there. So that's your base fee for all your classes and 2 dances, okay? That's not a solo, that's extra, and that's all explained there. However, again, I cannot give you a specific and say, hey, yours is only gonna be $100 a month, and yours is gonna be $150, yours is gonna be $250, because you have to fill out the form and turn in your financial aid form. So that's how we do it here. But just so you're aware, that's what it actually costs for all the classes and for us to pay the rent and the heat and cooling and teachers and all the stuff that comes with it, So I'm gonna encourage you to not panic when you see that number. I'm just gonna encourage you to just audition, fill out the form, and we'll start getting your financial aid to you. But I will say this, I think in the past, and I think it's already solved the problem, but in the past, where anybody has ever gotten into financial situations or trouble is when they wanted their child to do multiple solos, multiple duets. It just adds up, financially. And the competitions sadly are charging more every year. They just keep raising the prices, and that we don't, as a nonprofit, here's a really cool thing. We don't make we're a nonprofit, so we're not interested in making a profit off of any of that. Whereas other studios jack up the price even more for your competition entry and your costumes. We don't do that. If a costume costs $75, it costs you $75. We don't charge you $100. You know what I mean? So we're just a pass through as far as any hard costs, and hard costs to us are your competition fees and your costumes, right? And then everything else is paying for our teachers and for the building and everything else. So that's all that's covered, but we're not looking to make a profit off of it because we're profit, so that's super cool. So that's where we're coming up with that price, okay? So, but if you what we'll want you to do is, you can even start today or tomorrow morning. You can contact Deanna, who's our administrator, and she works at the front desk, and she'll get you the form, you fill it out and turn it in, and we'll start it. Because we want to make it work. That's, Mimi and I, we do not want anybody to not get to participate that wants to participate, that is serious about it. But I also think it's super important that you know that that's what it really costs. You know what I mean? Like it's an expensive activity, you know, that we are working hard to make sure that you can participate. Okay. So having said that, I'll circle back to the fundraising part. It is still going to cost you something. Everybody's going to have skin in the game. So we want you to think about if there's some fundraising that you want to do. Legally, I will say this, as employees of the nonprofit, we're technically not supposed to like be the heads of that. I don't know if anybody knew that, but we're not supposed to. So, but we can encourage and cheer you on and be like, yeah, let's, you know, like we can kind of assist. But I really think it's a great idea that parents do that, you know, so you can help cover that stuff. Or if like you wanted to join the brigade and travel to Sacramento or Atlanta or whatever, just super cool experience and great exposure for your dancer. That's what I want to really encourage you to do. But, and I'm happy to chat with you individually. But if you have any questions, I actually apologize for the vagueness in that, but that's why we made this, because it is a little bit vague because it's not.
Well, we're a huge organization, and so we have a whole financial department,
right,
who does all of this stuff. So Sue and I, as like more artistic directors, we're kind of like, so if you come to me, and most of you already know, if you come and ask me a financial question, I probably won't know the answer, and I'll refer you to Bianna or Liz. So
like they're the ones that do it, and again, they're individualizing it too for you. You know what I mean? So that's what makes it super cool, because our mission is to not turn away a kid. That's our mission. You know what I mean?
Need-based.
Yeah. But having said that, I'm going to back up Mimi and said, we're not going to turn away your child. We're going to make sure that your child can participate, but we're going to ask you to do all those things that Mimi just said. You got to be on time. Got to have your hair done. Can't bully your friend, or you know, all that stuff. You know, and build your character and be that student that we're trying to build them up to be. That's what we ask them in return. And you know, that's what you. And they're gaining. They're the ones that are going to gain from all that. So I think it's a great deal. And I know that you can't, there's nowhere in town that you can, that exists, that I know of, that offers that. You know, I mean, you go over like any other place and it's just, you just have to write the check. So anyway, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Any questions or
questions
that are for the group that you can think? I know if you're anything like me, I think of it at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, hi.
So I really appreciated when you were talking about with the bullying. Has that been an issue in the past?
We did have an issue this year with a certain student, which is why I kind of made that whole bullying policy. She is no longer a student here anymore. So,
you know what? I am a complete. Ask me. I have been this forever. I just do not stand for it. You know what I mean? This is the rules, and we all are smart enough to know how to behave like ladies and gentlemen here.
yeah.
You know,
It was
we
something
really are.
that
And,
there should have already been a policy in place,
Yeah.
and there wasn't because we'd never had
we
an,
just never had a
issue.
thing.
And
Yeah.
then something arose, so it's like
So we had
the
to create a
policy
policy.
is made, you
Yeah.
know? So,
But you know, that's really my position. And I'm very, very, very proud of the fact that our culture here is a culture of support and kindness. Because you know what? That's how it really is in the real world, believe it or not. It's not like what you see on the movies where people walk on the movie sets and start, you know, that's really not. I mean, like, if there's anything today about performing, it's just being the nicest person in the room. The nicest person in the room is always the one that you want to be. And that's what we really want to stress here. You know what I mean? So I really hope that we never have to deal with a bullying situation again.
wow.
Yeah, kindness is our thing. Yeah.
Thank you for asking
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
I've got like 3 questions.
Yes.
First one, are we going to keep the same, like jackets, leggings, backpacks as last year?
yes.
Second question, if you decide to do the high school program, just to clarify, you said if you do a production, that takes one, that would be your group dance, and then if you have the solo, which leads me to my next question, is since they're auditioning for solos, if for some reason it don't get to do a solo, then are they able, like if they're in the teen seniors or whatever other category, if they're not gonna do a solo, then maybe exchange it for another group dance?
No, just one group dance and a solo by audition.
But if they're in the teen seniors,
Mhm.
then if they're not doing the solo, there's not like a stipulation on dances.
Right. The high school program is just since they're doing the 2 days a week, it's less. So that's for more of like, a kid who's on like dance team and this and that. They've got way too much going on and they can really only do the 2 days a week and only handle one group dance, if that makes sense. But yeah, so if we did do production, the one group dance would be the production, yes. Okay, was that all three? Okay, cool, got it. Thanks, Kelly. Yeah.
Some of us like, I don't know what to find, just, so,
Mhm.
and I know I'm not here to write. Like some of this stuff is often so late, so it is hard to get the clear on, I think you're right.
I can tell, yes, I'm trying to have, I've been belaboring over the schedule, which is.
We're in the rough draft.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So I can tell you that our classes for all these guys would start at 4:45. We can't start them any later, because all you older teens need to be home too. So like, the later we start, the later the older kids would get home, and it just starts, it rolls downhill from there. And we like to get the, kids out, by, at the latest 9:30. I think we have like 9:30. We really want to get them out at 9. So when the later those littles are coming in, the later the bigger ones are leaving. So I can tell you that we're starting at 4:45 for like minis and petites. Not at that on the mini petite days. Yeah, I know I can tell you that for some of the former IM dance students, we are still gonna honor the transportation for you guys, for the former IM dance students. So that's still a thing. So like, say if you're struggling, you work till 5, I get it. I have two, I raised
And
two
I
kids too.
think we
So
only
I
have
can-
one mom that doesn't work, so
Yeah,
we get it. If,
Yeah.
we need to arrange like a school pickup.
yeah.
There's a few kids who are doing that. We have these really cool vans that have the Rose logo on the
Yeah.
side. So that, we can
Yeah,
talk.
so I know that like.
We'll
that's
figure
an
it out.
individual for like the IM kids.
Carpooling, like when I was a kid, I rode to dance with friends like every day. I remember, I think we will find a way to get the girls here, whether it's transportation, carpooling, like we'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah, but it's just, we just can't push it back because those older kids are, then they
I
do
don't know,
push
there's a
back.
couple
And then
studios who stay till 10
They
p.m.
do,
It's like,
and
that's crazy.
that is not something we do. We're not gonna.
Not me, oh no. I'm going to bed.
So just, that's an individual thing that we can work out.
We'll
for
work,
you.
we will work
Yeah.
it out.
But I get it, I'm the mom. Yeah. I
All
feel
right.
you. Yeah.
So
Mika.
will there be, multiple locations if transportation is provided? Because I know this year it's provided at Mandela. It works for some, but not for others, as far as in the meeting to Mandela to get transportation.
Right,
So
well, we
Yeah.
need to know who's
Yeah.
interested, and so if you guys are, if you can email Bianna and let us know, then we can kind of formulate a plan. This is all brand new, like, this is a brand new thing, I don't know if any other studio is
Yeah.
doing this, so we gotta figure out a plan, so,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
You
think
can't say, oh, yeah.
that's a very
We-
valid question, but we gotta figure out, how many kids would we be
And where they
picking
coming
up and
from.
where are they at, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So the
So-
sooner you tell us, the sooner we can figure out a plan.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because right now, I can tell you, it's not gonna be us picking up, because we're gonna be here. And I'm a bad driver, so you don't want me driving.
Not
You know,
a bad
so
driver.
You tell us where you need, and then we'll formulate that, and try to figure out, you know, solve those problems. But
Yes.
now is the time to give us those.
So we can get all of our ducks in a row.
Yeah.
But we
yeah.
will work it out.
Yeah.
We'll find a way.
Mhm.
You'll drive the van?
Okay, yeah.
I have so many titles for you. Recruitment director, rhinestone queen, van driver.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you,
Soloist.
it's easier for us to help provide some transportation for the IM kids than it is for us to change the start time of the class.
Yeah.
Because it
We
just
can't.
affects too many kids, you know what I mean? So we're willing to do that, and we'll figure it out. Yeah. Great question.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Oh. Is the ballet for the teams black?
We changed it to black,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
yes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for a teenager to find a purple leotard. So we switched it to the teens black leotard, skin tone tights, and I think we switched the minis to the purple. It's a little easier for
Yeah.
a 6-year-old to find a purple leotard. Yeah.
So is that the skin color?
So for Sarah, it'd be pink tights.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
yeah, not
Not
tan.
tan
So
for you.
ballet pink, yeah, but if you're a color, there's different types now, which is super
Tan
cool.
for Piper. It's 2022, so we're not all wearing pink
Pink
tights
tights.
anymore. If you look at, companies that have different colors of ballerinas, point shoes come in different colors now, so it's really exciting. Yeah.
It is.
Yes, your
Yeah.
daughter would be pink tights.
Yep.
Yep.
And if anybody needs help finding the tights, we can help with that. We got you on that too. We can help them.
2022.
Yeah, so nice. Yeah, anything else?
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Sorry that was kind of a lot of information thrown at you, but I appreciate you being here. And let me know if you have any individual questions. I'm always available. Sue's available. Beyond is available. And really excited to see you at the competition this weekend and auditions next week.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, you guys.
Is there anybody that's brand new that wants to tour the building? Everybody's seen it?
Who said me? Joy, have you seen the building? You've seen the building, right? Okay.
So good.
Yeah.